Hey Shakshim, how's it going? I'm looking at your submission for this week. Um, give me some communication on this about the slow-mo reference and if you plan on doing it in slow-mo or you're gonna plan on tweaking the timing later. I don't want to keep giving you the same notes about how the jump over the wall looks like it's in slow motion because maybe you're going for a time ramping kind of effect, kind of like they do in cinema. Um, Also, I'm seeing some of the same stuff in the beginning. Um, I know specifically, I remember talking about how that foot should be the push-off foot and should stay planted instead of kind of going back there. Um, so I don't know. Maybe they're just you didn't have a ton of time to work on this, but um, I'm not sure what's different from the last time I reviewed this, but I'll try to, I don't just want to repeat the notes from before, but I still feel pretty strongly that foot slipping back doesn't make any sense. Both feet can't be moving forward and back at the same time. So you would need to have a breakdown there where they take a step back with the red foot and then they bring the blue foot forward. I'm not really sure that that level of complexity is going to help the piece get any stronger. I think it's better if they just kind of keep their back foot planted and then they come forward and put their weight on the blue foot. So it's just one step instead of two steps to kind of get into this pose. I also think maybe we could be making some stronger choices with the arms here. So if the red foot is back, the hips should be slightly this way, the top of the torso should be twisted slightly that way, which will maybe give you the opportunity to bring this hand, the red arm forward. Maybe that'll also give you the opportunity to kind of bring this hand back. I don't know. These aren't exactly I'm not saying hit these arm poses because these are the most amazing ones. I also feel rotating the head back and up kind of, because right now it feels like they're kind of staring at the ground, which I feel isn't necessarily the most heroic pose we could be hitting here. It feels a little shoegazy. This transitions kind of is nice, but I'm not seeing a lot of rotation work happening out of the pelvis or the upper chest. Feels a little stiff here, and also try to get more toe roll in on this instead of just tippy toeing the foot. I want to see that break in the toes because the toe and the ball of the foot stays firmly planted there. And then this push off bit is going to be important to define, right? So here's this pose, you're going to need a pose here where it's maybe by this pose they are starting to get a little bit up, but this should be kind of, you got to bring this forward and down, maybe lean into it a little bit more as they're shifting their weight, getting ready for this push off to get to here. And then we're gonna need a passing pose of the red foot coming forward and all that. And then I think these hands too, both of them being back, is, it's good for the red arm to be back as the red foot goes forward. That feels correct, but then I think maybe the blue needs to come forward a little bit more. So yeah, maybe here, we're already reaching out for the wall. We're anticipating this kind of thing, at least with one hand. Maybe the hand that was back, which would have been maybe the red hand is back, is still coming around to it. It's not quite there yet. That's a way to keep them from overlapping and twinning. And then we see the plant. The tricky thing is going to be like keeping the forward momentum. Phew. What is happening? Sorry about that. The tricky thing is going to be keeping like the forward momentum on your center of gravity consistently moving forward. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a tendency to want to like really slow down at this contact pose over the wall. But yeah, this is cool. I think I talked before about yeah. So here I feel like again the character is still a little bit too like pushed and bent over, and I know that maybe you're trying to do that to get the arms to reach, but maybe bring the center of gravity down so we can rotate the character to be a little bit more straight up and down, because right now it looks like they're gonna like fall on their face. You know what I mean? If you look at your reference, like it's much more curled into this ball shape. You know, the head is like more up, like looking this way, instead of like kind of down, and they really get like the legs tucked up underneath here, kind of Spider-Man style, if that makes any sense. Like you're kind of getting the tucking thing here a little bit, but I feel like it's going to help you to like get that back really arched up there. It'll also help, you know, keep all of this stuff from like starting to overlap and feel just like a difficult silhouette to read. If that makes any sense. But yeah, just keep moving forward on this. I feel like there's a lot of like breakdown poses that are still kind of needed, and then we got to figure out. Just let me know if you're going for the slow motion timing or if you're going to try to put it into like real time timing, because you know, as you start to work out these step poses, we'll start to like make sure that your timing is where you want it to be at. It's okay if you want to do slow-mo stuff. That's fine. Just I gotta know what I'm evaluating here a little bit. But maybe you want to do the slow-mo stuff, and maybe that should be obvious to me, and for some reason it isn't. Yeah, so let's get some breakdowns working through these steps. Once you get these poses kind of worked out, let's get the breakdown poses and work through these steps. Like I just want to keep an eye on how many weeks we have left, because I feel like this could be like a really nice, strong piece for you. So I just want to make sure we don't run out of time by the end. You know what I mean? And then I don't know if you want to take it. It's probably a good idea to take it through the landing a little bit more than this, than to just have it like the piece cut like right on the kind of like the contact pose. You know what I mean? I'm not encouraging you to bite off more than what you can chew, but maybe it's there's a way to start with a little less of the beginning part so that we get a more kind of like satisfying resolution on the end. Because maybe you don't need to start from this standing pose and then go into this crouch. Maybe we can just start in the crouch, so that affords us a little more time on the end to show kind of like the landing and resolution a little bit more. Just food for thought. But yeah, let me know if you want me to take a look at anything before next week's class, or if you need office hours or whatever. But yeah, I think that this is coming along, could be really cool. Yeah, so let me know. All right, see you soon.